Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian and welcome back to Elite Dangerous on the PlayStation 4. I've been out here for a while, trying to pick up the various materials that you saw me trying to collect at the end of the previous video. In that case it was mechanical scrap, mechanical equipment and a few others, all needed for the upgrades I'm about to go and collect. Now it turns out that the mechanical scrap has not been as easy to collect as I would have liked. Well, not easy in the sense that it doesn't seem to drop very often, at least not here, at least not for me, but I've now got about 9 units and I've got a whole ton of mechanical equipment and I should have a whole lot of heat dispersion plates. So next up is to go and collect some sulfur, and to do that we're going to have to go and land on a planet somewhere. So that's what we're going to do, and I'll catch you there in just a moment. Sulfur then is one of the most common materials you can find down on planetary surfaces, and if we come to the system map we can have a look through here. Just tab across to the info panel and we can see the sulfur here. Sulfur deposits are around 18.8%, iron a little bit higher at 19.1, and we can go down each planet in turn. 18.3, 18.4. It's not really going to make a huge amount of difference which planet we actually choose here, but we may as well go for the one with the highest amount of sulfur there, 18.1 and 19.8, which is the one I've already selected, and that's the one I'm actually heading to. So I'm going to land there in just a moment, and we're going to need our SRV to go and do some scouring of the planet and pick up as much sulfur as we possibly can. Well, don't need too much, I guess. 6 units or maybe 9 will probably do the job. A nice big crater here then on this very small world with a number of other smaller craters inside of it. I'm going to go and land near any one of these will do. Now on there's got some huge shadows in there being cast by the local star. Let's go for the one over slightly further in the distance, though. The ground there looks a lot smoother, so it should make it that much easier to drive around in the SRV. Don't like driving over ground that's too hilly or too rough. Certainly not when I'm looking for the very rare materials, the very common materials anyway, as they're generally pretty easy to find and we shouldn't have to travel too far before we find what we're looking for. Just going to settle down on the edge of the crater here then. There we go, nice and easy landing there. Let's hope it's just as easy to find what we're looking for. Of course, then we've got to head over to the dweller, and I'm not quite sure how far away he is compared to my current location, so it might be a few jumps. I'll actually travel there in the Cobra, and when I'm there I'll summon over the Viper to one of the local stations there. So outcrops are generally the ones we want. There is some mesosiderite around, but that tends to have some of the more rare materials in. What we want is the nice common sulfur, and saying that, there's nothing here but iron, nickel and germanium. We might as well collect that though while we're here, and we'll keep on going to see what we can see. Right, we've got some more mesosiderite. We had some of that a little while back, but you never know. All these rocks, all these outcrops, anything is always worth shooting, always worth investigating, and of course you're going to need some of the more rare stuff at a later date anyway. I'm going to have to come around at the other angle there. The angle of that hill is preventing me from shooting the thing. Right, there we go. And you can see it shooting right up in the air, of course, because we've got low gravity here. And still no sulfur. I tell you, if I wanted any of these things, they wouldn't be dropping. It's always the thing you want that doesn't seem to drop. We'll have a look at what that message is about in just a moment. Get the items here first. Okay, let's take a look at that message. Invitation from Felicity Farcia. Always happy to help a fellow explorer. A marker for my location has been added to your galaxy map, so come and see me. And let's see how I can help you. Now, Felicity Farseer is the engineer that allows us to upgrade our jump drives, our FSDs. So that's very, very good. Not quite sure why she sent the invite just now, though. I thought maybe my exploration rank has gone up, but it hasn't just yet. And I certainly haven't been travelling any further because I'm here in the SRV, unless that counts towards it, which I somehow doubt. Right. So it turns out the invite to Felicity was indeed due to an exploration promotion. It was just lagging behind and took a few minutes to come through. Right, now we got a bit of sulphur at last. And some other rather nice materials as well. When they finally decide to rain down out the sky. Gotta admit that I often prefer collecting these sort of materials on high G worlds because they fall straight to the ground and they make collecting that much easier. So then, I've got the materials I need. Time to head on over to the engineer. So it turned out that the dweller is actually far closer to my previous location than I actually thought, so I'm able to come here in my Viper and land directly at his base at Black Hide. Now, as you may remember from the previous video, I'm here to upgrade my pulse laser and my beam laser. I'm only going to go to grade 2 at the moment, but I will eventually work the way up to grade 5. And depending on whether I've got enough materials, I will also be attempting to upgrade my power distributor here. But I don't know if I've got enough offhand for that. I haven't actually gone ahead and double checked, and I haven't gone out of my way to try and collect those materials for that. So if I have got enough, then good, we'll do it. If not, then no worries, because we can do the 2 weapons, and they're the main things that I'm actually after today. So Black Hide looks like it's on the very dark side of the planet here. Although I suspect the planet will brighten up as we get closer to the planetary surface. That's the sort of thing that tends to happen. Although maybe not. Maybe it will stay dark. Be one of the more rare planets if that's the case. Hold on, there it goes. Now, if you do want to see some dark surface planets, I'll be showing some of them off in a video tomorrow on the PC. You can find them, although generally you won't find them in inhabited space. There did used to be many dark planets back in the early days of Horizons. You could land on a planetary surface, and if you go around the dark side, you'd find yourself almost in pitch black. It'd be almost impossible to actually find your way around without relying on your SRV headlights. And that was particularly interesting when you went to land on some of the settlements or some of these cities there. Very, very interesting gaming. But something changed and things are a little bit too bright on these sides of the planets in the bubble, and that's due to ambient lighting. Again, I'll go into more detail in a video tomorrow. But there are planets out there that are more or less pitch black, but you do have to travel right out your way to actually get to them. So there you can see Black Hide on the edge of the crater. It should come into view any minute now, and any moment now. There we go. We should be dropping out of orbital cruise, going into glide mode, and we can then hopefully land there. Now, we have got an invite here. I don't know if you've ever tried going to an engineer's base without an invite. If you do that, then they will openly attack you. You'll get shot down, destroyed. They don't want to see you there. So, yeah, it's best to wait for an invite. And once you've got them unlocked, then it's all good. Now, I have done pretty much everything I do need to do to unlock the Dweller, except he does want 500,000 credits. Unfortunately, I've got that. Got plenty of that. So that shouldn't be a problem.
Oscar Bravo Sierra, automated flight control protocol initiated. Please submit a request prior to landing.
And here you can see the engineer bases do have a synthetic flight controller rather than a human one, and I suppose that's because they're generally isolationists. They like to live out there on their own, fringe dwellers and whatnot. Let's try and dock though. Let's send a docking request. And there we are. And I'm actually coming around a bit too fast and a bit too hard here. Gonna pay for this. There we go. Okay, let's try and land the thing properly. I make plenty of those mistakes, and you tend not to see them on the other videos. Alright.
Warning, landing gear not deployed.
I'm making a right mess up of this one, aren't I? Right, nearly there. Right, let's unlock the dweller. Let's do the full unlock. Give him the 500,000 credits that he wants. And
Docking procedure completed. Ship secured. Greetings, Commander.
hello. And then we can do what we want to do here. So we donate him 500,000 credits. Easy done. And there's the 3 things that we want to unlock. I'm going to quick have a look at power distributors just to see whether or not I've actually got what's required. Well, look at that. We have. What's you want there? Unfortunately, you want some chromium for grade 2, which I don't actually have. Unfortunate, really, because I've got to gone straight up to grade 3. Got a little bit of sulfur anyway, so yeah. Well, we come back to that anyway. In a moment, we can at least unlock grade 1. What we're going to do is pulse lasers. Now, you may remember I wanted a rapid fire on the pulse lasers. We need mechanical scrap for that. And we're going to go all the way up to grade 2. I'll do a couple of rolls on grade 2. I might come back to it and do a couple of rolls on grade 2. Because it's a little bit better than grade 1. So here we go. Here's the first one. View and generate cost. Well, let's see if we get any good secondary effects as well. And look at that. Low roll straight off the bat. Maybe they get enhanced here in the secondary effects. Nope, nothing too special there. Not too worried anyway, I'm not keeping this. We're going to keep re-rolling unless I get something absolutely fantastic and I want to keep it. Which I don't, and we got no effect, so let's try again. Now I think I need to keep some mechanical scrap back for the beam lasers as well. Now that's a little bit better, isn't it? And 3 of these should unlock grade 2. Now the downside is, there you can see I've got damage rate of 25% increase per second with a rate of fire 2% increase. We're not going to get an experimental effect on the weapon. But I'm going to actually apply that. I want to go back and see, we're not quite unlocked on grade 2 yet. You need 3 uses, 3 spins of the wheel on the current tier to unlock the next tier. The reason I've come back here is because we can't actually see it here, I don't think. Let's see if we can browse all. There we go. Right. Yeah, that's what I wanted to look at. We could have looked at just now. I was looking at the wrong bit. Right, yeah, rapid fire modification 2. The rate of fire is actually 25% at the bottom with a high end of 34%. And you can see that my modification just now was 25%, meaning that I actually hit the bottom of grade 2. So whilst it's a good grade 1 roll, it's not a particularly good grade 2 roll. Although it's not grade 2, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Sometimes you're better off with a lower tier roll, that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you'll get an exceptional grade 4 roll, for example, and it'll be better than anything you're going to get on a middling to average at grade 5. So sometimes you're best off keeping that, unless you've got the materials to keep rolling to get the exceptional grade 5. So let's see what we get this time. So actually you're worse off. All the integrity's going up. But we get an experimental effect on one I don't actually want to keep. Oh no. Or is it? No. Okay. So we've now unlocked tier 2, grade 2, you can see there. And we're going to carry on rolling on there for the minute. Rapid fire modification. Let's see what we get this time. So you can see there that everything could potentially be a bit better, with the exception of damage per second. I'm guaranteed to have a worse damage per second on this roll. That's because, like I say, I've got an exceptional roll on the grade 1. That rate of fire is quite nice, so quite pleased with that so far. And the reload time couldn't be better, unless things go worse here. Bit of a shame about the thermal load though. It's one thing I'm trying to avoid. Too much heat generation. The ship's already outputting more heat than I would like, as it is. But anyway, we're going to have that. Okay, and then we're going to go on to beam lasers. What did I want on beam? I wanted efficient. Again, we got plenty of sulfur and we got some heat dispersion plates. So here we can do a good number of rolls. I have got multi-cannons on the ship as well, but the Dweller doesn't actually deal with them. We need to go to another engineer. So I'll do that a little bit later on. So thermal load decrease actually very, very good. Well, very good compared to base anyway. Ah, and no experimental weapon of the roulette wheel. Do I keep these or do I try again? We're going to try again. Oh, nope. A bit lower this time. Oh, lower on everything. Load of rubbish. We'll try it 2 more times, I guess. Well, I could try to. I've got none left, but I don't know how many of these you actually want to watch on the video. And the best thermal load I got was on the first roll, wasn't it? Actually, the best all round was on the first roll. Perhaps I should have kept that. A rubbish secondary effect. Totally ruining the damage per second. So you can see experimental effects are quite rare to get. But these are things that are highly sought after, especially specific types of experimental effects. So people go out there and accumulate tons and tons of materials just so that they can keep rolling and rolling to get their desired experimental effect on each weapon. So that's a little bit better. It's not the best, but get in there. Oh, and that's what I like to see. It actually puts it higher than the average, but the armor piercing is a bit down, unfortunately. But I don't use these weapons for armor piercing, so that's kind of irrelevant. Oh, so close. Thought I was going to get one there. But nonetheless, none of the worries. I'm going to have that, because I don't think we're going to get too much better as yet. And now we're all the way up to grade 3 already, and I don't think I've got enough materials for that, unfortunately. Where were we? We could have an overcharged weapon. I've got enough for that, but I don't want that. On my pulse lasers, I want rapid fire. Oh no, I've got enough for rapid fire, but only one. Only one, because of the specialised legacy firmware. I don't know how I ended up with one of those. Must have been a mission reward. Generally speaking, you get 3. Let's have a look very quickly at the power distributor here. So for this, I wanted to go for a charge enhanced. Right. So there's my choice then. Do I go for a charged enhanced power distributor? Because that needs the legacy firmware. And in fact, they all do. Or do I go for the... Oh, they don't actually all need that. Actually, I'm going to go for a weapon-focused power one. We need selenium for grade 3, so we can't actually go for grade 3 straight away, but we can go for grade 2. So I'm going to go for the weapon-focused one, and we are going to do it. Let's see what we get. It's got to be better than base. This will enable me to fire those energy weapons for a little bit longer. And not too much of a decrease on the engine's recharge. I'll apply that in case I want to keep it. I know we can get better. So weapon focused again. And another roll. Let's see what we get this time. Nope. Weapons capacity actually worse. In both cases, weapons capacity and weapons recharge. A little bit of an improvement on all other systems. But that's not why I had this. So we don't want to apply that one. Unless we get nice. Oh, look at that. Worse still. Worse than ever. No, thank you. That's looking a little bit better, isn't it? Do I want to apply it? Slight decrease on engines and systems, but I tend not to worry about them too much. Right, we'll do one final roll on the power distributor just to see what we can see. But I doubt we'd get anything too much better. Although it is, of course, possible. Oh. And we've actually ended up with... Oh, I was about to say we ended up with a lot better, but that kicked it right in the nuts, didn't it? But still good. We're going to have that one. And that's what we're going to go with. And then we're going to go back to... Oh, do we want to... Can we do a grade 3 beam? What did I have? Efficient? No, we can't. Because I need the chromium. I already looked at that, didn't I? But we can do a grade 3 rapid fire. Only one attempt. So who knows? Maybe we get lucky. I don't have to take this, but there's a good chance it'll end up actually better than the grade 1 I've got. Or the grade 2 weapon upgrade I've got. Yep, damage per second and the rate of fire. Very, very nice. And even better is the reduction in power distribution there. But the power draw went up and probably ruined the effect from the distribution draw I've actually got. Never mind. Generally speaking, that's a lot better than what I actually had. But no effect. Again, you can see those are quite rare. So all in all, some nice upgrades there. We've upgraded the power distributor, the pulse laser, and the beam laser. And you can see we're actually getting very close to unlocking grade 4 as well. But certainly haven't got anything that will enable me to do any grade 4. Let's just double check. I can't do... Oh no, he hasn't got grade 4 on the beams anyway. What about on here? What am I missing? Oh, he can't go up to grade 4 anyway. He can go up to grade 4 if we go shield protected. But we don't want that. Or charge enhanced. Then again, I've got no components for that, so we'll stick with what we've got. I think that's a nice improvement. Not going to be able to test it out for this video, unfortunately, but we'll be back in a future video to have a look at what that's going to be like. And just for a quick look over here, in case you didn't know, you get a nice little icon next to your module, indicating the engineered upgrade on it. So there we go then. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.